Acho que eu era aí. Hã? Queres ficar aqui? Okay. First substitution. Sorry.
Yeah. Rotating place on the bench.
I'm here.
But thanks for joining us. First of all, just to, I suppose, introduce the talk, we're just going to watch a little video from UEFA about the new campaign and initiative.
Why do we love football?
Porque posso fazer a diferença dentro e fora de campo.
Es gibt mir Selbstbewusstsein.
La pasión de los hinchas.
Ilyenkor élek igazán.
Energien og spenningen før en kamp.
Là, sur le terrain, nous sommes tous égaux. C'est ça que j'aime.
But as you can see, it's a lovely video. I mean, you probably all recognize the former No to Racism video. And as you were saying off air, Pedro, this is a move to broaden it, to kind of and have a more positive message.
Boa tarde a todos. Good afternoon. It's fantastic to be here at the Web Summit today and to see the UEFA Equal Game campaign profiled, because we are very passionate about promoting that football should be a strong voice to communicate inclusion, diversity, and accessibility around the world. We have an incredible platform. Football has an estimated 3.5 billion fans around the world, and we have a duty as UEFA. We have a duty as UEFA, we have an obligation as UEFA to use this amazing platform around the Champions League right now to promote these values. We did have a No to Racism campaign for 4 years, and it was a very important message, but we felt we wanted to evolve this message, make it more outreaching, more diverse in itself, and pass from a negative message of a no to something to a positive message of yes to equality. So I think everybody around the world knows what UEFA does as far as organizing competitions. A lot of people are not so aware of what we do many times in grassroots development, education, and it's our responsibility and my responsibility, being in charge of communications, to make sure that message is shared. Finally, just very quickly, it was great also to include 3 elite players like Leo, Cristiano, and Paul, and 3 real amateur players who have their stories to tell. A blind football player from Hungary, also a young girl in Germany, and a 65-year-old guy from Wales who's still playing walking football. So we're very passionate about it, and we feel we have a duty to utilize the audience we have in order to promote these values.
But this is the thing, and just before I come to the 2 guys, I mean, football can only ever be, I suppose, a reflection of society and the various issues and problems we have. But it's also unique in that it can be a driving force, because there's probably nothing in the world that actually connects as many people, and it's so basic as football.
You're absolutely right, and I think that's why football and footballers have a responsibility to set an example. And maybe I'll break with protocol and ask the guys here what they think. You know, during their careers, did you feel a responsibility to be a role model, to promote some of these values? Because football is really inclusive for everyone, no matter where you're from.
Yes, I can speak for myself, even Nuno. Hello everyone, nice to meet you, nice to see you, and thanks for being here with many people that are like you, Pedro Pinto and Nuno Gomes, in the same table to talk about these issues. It's an issue to include people on the society, and football has a very big task, and a very big. It's very important to all these issues. I think in my case, my parents come from Cape Verde, and come to Lisbon, a big city, and they come to work, and we stay at home, and then what we have to do is play football on the street. And the inclusion was very, very fast. My parents at work was different because they work for other people. It was different inclusion. They work in small, with small work, basic work. It was difficult, and the small guys know. We had, with children, had the possibility to talk with everyone. So football brings to me everything good to be equal like the others.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Well, in my personal opinion also, and I will tell you a little bit about my career. And during my career, I met a lot of football players from everywhere, from every continent, and at the end, when we were together in the same locker room, in the same dressing room, and at the pitch playing, we were all equal. So it's our duty and also helping UEFA to promote this campaign and to share this, because football is unique in this matter, because everybody can play. Everybody can play. It doesn't matter which religion you are, which ethnic you are, and where you came from. It doesn't matter, because everybody can play. And when the game starts, we are, as a team, we are all fighting for the same goal, the same objective, and we are respecting the same values. So we forgot if you are black, if I'm white, it doesn't matter. So and also is a part of some real values that we can transmit to young kids, especially.
It's quite a powerful message what a team is, isn't it? For basically for people everywhere, it's 11 players or a squad of 22, 23 from all different backgrounds coming together for one goal. I mean, as you said.
I'm sorry to answer this one, but it doesn't matter even if you're playing at a top level, elite level, or amateur level, or even you with your friends playing, I don't know, five-a-side or something. But it doesn't matter when everybody can play. So that's why football in sports in general are unique, because when the game starts, we are having fun and we are fighting from the same values, and is unique.
I think even at the national team, Portuguese national team, is a very good example. We can see players from with the parents from other countries. So even it's like playing chess, one black, one white, no problem, all together. We have Eusebio was a big star for everyone. He comes from Mozambique. Then we have Figo, and now we have Ronaldo. The next one will be black for sure. Yeah. We don't know. We are hoping that next one will be a good example for everyone. So it's very good to play football, and in the locker room, even if you play. In Portugal is a very good example, because you can see in Lisbon, a big city, you can see that is example even when you are playing with your friends.
We were saying backstage as well about how interesting, even as players, that how the game and your career can introduce you to new cultures, new religions. I mean, do you have any stories about that? I mean, you were talking about kind of rooming with players who are going through Ramadan, or?
Yes, I had a few players who played with me. One was Fredrik Soderstrom from Sweden, and at 6 a.m. he was wake up because there in his country he doesn't like to sleep. He wake up everyone to do things. Let's go for a walk. I don't want to walk. I want to sleep. And then we had the players, Muslims, that have to pray anytime. So it was very, very tough. And in football, we can share those experiences. And if I don't go out of my comfort zone, I can't know how the others do their life, their normal life. So football is very good for new experience.
Yes, I share the same with George, because it doesn't matter where you came from, which religion you are, because it's a matter of respect. Because if you are in the same locker room with a Muslim player, we are fighting from the the same objective, the same goal, while we are as a team. But then after that, I have to respect him as a person, as he has maybe a different opinion, a different religion, but we have to understand that we have to respect also that situation. So I played in different countries, and I played with a lot of players that used to do Ramadan, and that was for us, that was a normal thing, because okay, there is Ramadan. You have to fix to those timetable, for example. But and we sometimes we have to adapt to help him going through to his religion, because it's normal if he's from a different religion.
This is kind of the beauty of the game in that sense. What we can kind of promote, that you don't see the background, you see the footballer.
Yes, it's true, because at the pitch, I'm not looking at my colleague, and I will not pass the ball to him if he's Muslim or if he thinks different than me. We are equal, and I think it was a very good idea from UEFA also to change the name of the campaign. Let's tell like this, because equal game is I think is more attractive, because it's also a fighting against discrimination and gender equality also, and I think it will for sure touch everybody.
What I will say is that Paul Pogba especially has been a fantastic ambassador for our campaign. He even shaved equal game into his hair when we launched it in Monaco. And he's Muslim, and he's used his social media accounts and his platform to educate people about his religion. And that's also a reason why we wanted to integrate him, not only because he was a minority, but because he had maybe a different lifestyle from a religion standpoint than the traditional European footballer, right? So we wanted to take full advantage of that, and the diversity of the European game is very important to us. It's important to us as an organization, also for our president, Alexander Chefrin. And during that launch in Monaco, he spoke about the importance of UEFA becoming a social fair play organization, and I'd like us to take a look at that soundbite right now, if possible.
If you want to be a social fair play organization, you have to clearly say no to racism, to sexism, to homophobia, to any discrimination, to discrimination of disabled people or any other. The important thing is that you act, that you don't just make TV spots, but you have to act. And it's again much more than just football. Our power has to be used. So I would like to thank all my colleagues here and all the football players, Paul Pogba, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Lionel Messi, because there's a perception many times that football players care just about their career and their contracts, and they clearly shown that they're different, and they did much more than we expected. So thank you very much.
It was great to get his support as well, because when the UEFA president gets behind you, you can reach new audiences, you can reach more people than ever before. So it's been fantastic to have this platform.
And it's obviously such a responsibility that the president feels in that sense, that to really harness the power of football in that way. Because I suppose even with someone like Paul Pogba, just by one message, the power he has to instantly break down or make kind of children think about things differently.
Yeah, and Paul also has said to us all the time that he does see this as a privilege that he has to be a football player, to be world renowned and recognized, and obviously his voice reaches a lot more people, and he feels this responsibility as a player.
Now, one thing that has been discussed a lot in the last few years, I suppose, is the issue of homosexuality in football and players coming out. But I mean, you were talking about there's one positive story in that regard that shows specifically how the game has led the way.
I think when it comes down to equality, football has been able to break a lot of barriers. Perhaps homosexuality overall is one that it still needs to tackle openly. And maybe Jorge and Nuno can talk about how difficult that would be for a player, because some players have come out after they stopped playing. Some amateur players have come out, but you have yet to see a high-profile player doing that. Just recently, there was a Georgian a player from the national team of Georgia who plays in Holland. And for Vitesse, he wore the captain's armband with a rainbow on it. Now, there were many far-right groups in Georgia who actually came out and protested against this and wanted the player kicked out of the national team because he plays for the national team. And football, in this case, broke a barrier that perhaps had never been broken in Georgia, because the president of the country came out to support the player. The president of the National Association came out to support the player. And it can break these stereotypes. It can break these traditional molds that perhaps have been there in the past. And football can really be a breath of fresh air, I think, to set an example.
I mean, as players as well, you must be proud when that happens as well, when the team becomes a symbol in that way, that you can help do that.
Yes, as players, we know that everyone, when is inside the locker room, we don't care what you do outside. Just concentrate and focus in the aim of the team, and even coach have to be free of mind to choose the players who are going to play. Outside, your personality can come out, but inside we try to be normal guys. Everyone with the same kit, everyone with the same time to eat, and everything for everyone at the same right moment. That's why we don't judge the other. I think maybe I can play with other player that is homosexual, but I didn't know, because inside the club they do the normal things like the others, and that was very positive. So in my sportive life, I do everything normal, and they do everything normal without problems.
Yes, and again, in the pitch, in the locker room, we are equal. It doesn't matter who you are. And of course, as a team, we all know, and the players, even if you are homosexual or not, you have to respect the values of the club, in that case, and the rules, the existing rules that the locker room and the club, there are rules to conduct. And so it doesn't matter who you are, you have to respect those rules, depending if you are rich or poor, or if you play well or bad. So we are all equal in the pitch, in the locker rooms, and these values that UEFA wants to share and to promote more and more.
And maybe I will say that the issue of the LGBT issues, so issues connected with homosexuality in football, will be one of the topics that we will highlight in our documentaries. Every month we will have a new documentary in a different country in Europe promoting one value of inclusion or diversity, and we will have a story to talk about this as well, because we feel it's necessary to get the right exposure and the right attention, and we want to be equal across all diverse and minority groups.
Well, I was going to come to this, but just to give people a flavour of what they can look forward to and what UEFA is going to do. Are there any kind of particular examples from the mini documentaries that you think they should watch out for, any that stand out for you personally?
Well, it gives me an opportunity to give a plug for our website, which is equalgame.com. And there you'll see 3 documentaries that are already out there. One of a blind player in Hungary, one of an older player in Wales, one of a young girl from an immigrant background that has used football to integrate in her society. So every month we'll have a new story. If you have ideas of stories that you know about that are inspirational regarding these topics of inclusion and diversity, feel free to contact us, because we are genuinely looking to tell real stories and connect with more and more people at grassroots and amateur level. Because again, I think people sometimes have the impression that UEFA is taking care of elite competitive football. We care about football at all levels in all 55 national associations, and this campaign gives us an opportunity to highlight that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge thing. As you said, I mean, the perception maybe is that we're looking at only the top level of the game, but that's not the case here. It's about right through the sport. Because you've worked a lot with young players, Josh. Yes. Do you see the effect of this as well?
Oh, yes, for sure. Young players are different. When they do something in sports, they keep trying, so the things come. And I have had a big contact with Africa, with Cape Verde, and I work with the National Federation of Cape Verde, and I was ambassador of the school of the national team. It was very important, the example that we give from here and the experience that I had here in Europe to take a little bit of the things that we do here to the kids, so in Africa, so they can have the same experience of the other kids and have the equal opportunity to come and play like them. It's very good, that situation, and I keep trying, even now that I doesn't play, I keep trying to keep this contact, always connect, so we can work together, and every kid can have the same opportunity, even if they are far away from Europe. Okay.
At the Benfica Academy
and the clubs now are ready and prepared to receive a lot of kids coming from different countries and with different cultures, and they have specialized people to receive them and to help them to integrate in Portuguese culture and Portuguese way of living, and also there's Portuguese people that are very, very warm and friendly, and they usually treat very well persons who come to visit, and in football is not different. So the Portuguese clubs, they are prepared to receive a lot of foreign kids that come to Portugal to play, and after 1 or 2 months they are truly adapted.
Well, that's what I was going to come to next. I mean, the country we're in, Portugal, is almost it's an excellent example of this, because given its colonial history, given the history of immigration, whereas other countries with similar histories, you often hear about problems in their national teams. But in the teams you all played in, there was never anything like that.
No, it's true. But yes, of course, we have a lot of ex-colons, that a lot of players coming from that countries, ex-colons, Portuguese ex-colons, and they are very, very talented over there. So it's normal for Portuguese clubs to go and take them to Portugal to play from their clubs, and also is also an example of being in inclusion, because they coming from a different culture and to different clubs to play in Portuguese clubs, and they are equal as local players.
That mix is very important. Portuguese kind of style is different than the other European national teams. We have the strong. With the African people, we have the brain from Rui Costa and Nuno Gomes and the other players who play on the key positions. And with that mix, we can beat everyone. Yeah. We won the European Cup. So with the guy who scores a goal that comes from Africa and the others, it's very good, this mix, and the other cultures, like Italian culture. I've been there. They don't have colonies. They had one, Ethiopia, the only one, but don't have more colonies with African people who can help them to have other characteristics that can help them in football. Football is about mix. It's about different positions and different roles. So African Europe players together in the national team of Portugal is a big formula, a fantastic formula.
Well, just to finish up, since we are at a web technology summit, how key has modern technology, social media been to this message for UEFA?
Huge. I mean, 20 years ago, we would only be reaching maybe 10% of the audience that we're reaching now with this campaign. Through our digital channels, we've got 150 million footprint as far as all our digital platforms and social media accounts. So just imagine the opportunity we have to get to everyone around the world, not just the partner broadcasters who would have taken this campaign video a few years ago. And the fact that everybody can share their own story and how football has inspired them by just 3 or 4 clicks of their phone is unbelievable. So it has definitely played a huge part. And we hope that Equal Game continues to inspire people to share their content all around, not only Europe, but around the globe.
Breaking barriers in every sense, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. That's Pedro, Josh, and Nuno. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good, yeah.